Welcome back up on the mountain today. It's already been a busy one. We've been cutting down a few trees to clear some space right here. I didn't put that on video. If you want to see some tree cutting, look here, here, and here. Are you still here? We made a run to the store real quick, picked up some concrete for the foundations. Yeah, we'll probably need more. Also got some paver stones. I find it's easier to level the concrete foundation with a nice little paver stone on top. And we picked up some 2x6. Yeah, they're a little bit long for the mini truck, but it worked okay. I also got a little bit of digging done here so we can level this bay all the way across. That's a lot of work for one day. And we're just getting started. Next thing we need to do is go back to the barn, load up with tools, come up here and start building a foundation. All right, welcome back up on the mountain. It's the next day. We brought our tools back to continue working on the RV barn. We brought 15 gallons of water to help mix the concrete, a skill saw to cut some temporary legs. You got to have some gloves, some type of a vertical plumb bob looking thing, a little level, a ruler, a screw gun, some 3 1/4 inch screws, a shovel, extension cord, a bucket, a generator, and a pick. That should be enough to wear us out for one day. So I think the first thing we want to do is take some of this 2x6 material and frame out a square all around here, which will be the final dimensions for the RV shed. And then we'll know where to drop the plumb bob down to dig our foundations. Sounds like a plan. Pretty for sure the first thing we want to do is clear this front corner so we can get a board across the front. So after about 12.6 seconds of rethinking this, I think we're going to go ahead and add boards along this edge, screw it into the existing board, but it's going to be stacked out the width of these little 2x4 supports because I don't want to take those off. Now for this first operation, we're just going to use the screw gun in case we want to take it back apart for any reason during our initial planning stage. All right, maybe we can just grab one of these boards. And unfortunately, it's going to be all over the place. Stay. Should have brought a clamp. It'd make it a lot easier for one person. Perfect. So the boards that I bought are 2x6 by 12. The plan was to run 2 of them to make the shed 24 feet long. The old shed is 16 feet long. We've made it structurally good to 10 feet. We have a couple extra feet, and now we have to put another board out this way. Yeah, it's going to stick way out there in the air. That'll be fun. We also need to put some support blocks between here so we can screw it all together. So now it gets somewhat more difficult. We have to attach the next board right here, attach it there, stick it way out here in the air, and put that temporary leg on to support it all by ourselves. That should be fun. Mostly perfect. All right, we got that board attached. It did highlight some other issues. So the first issue, the leg out here on the end, yeah, it's about 8 feet up in the air. That's a long ways up. And the next issue is I underestimated how far out here this thing was going to stick. And that tree right there is still in the way. We got to cut it. I don't really mind cutting it because when we cut all the other trees in here, they fell on it and they tore the top out. So most likely it's going to die anyway. All right, we picked up our little chainsaw. I think we're going to plan on making this tree fall right over there on top of all that other debris. We might clean that up this winter. There's a little bit of good firewood over there. Most likely. Perfect. So this tree is a tulip tree or a poplar tree. You can tell by the green color inside and just by the way that it is. It has at least one good log down here, pretty straight up to about 10 feet or so. I go ahead and cut that off right now while I have the chainsaw out here. Even though the chainsaw's blade is really dull and super loose, I think it's good enough for one more cut. I think the next thing to do is attach a board here, going across the front. Make sure we don't need to do any more digging up there. Now, one problem we need to avoid, since we have this floor joist jacked out about 1.5 inches, and we're going to attach this 2x6x12 right here, we need to make sure that when we're out there, the overall width of this deck isn't more than 12 feet, because we're going to buy 12-foot decking boards, and if we come up 1.5 inches short on the other end, that would be bad. So I think what we're going to do is cut about 4 inches off the end of 2 of these things. One will go across the back, and the other one will go right here across the front. And that should guarantee that we're just slightly less than 12 feet wide, so our decking boards will be a little bit long. Perfect. All right, so we threw this board up here just to see what it would look like. And we might have to dig a little bit more in this corner. But let's screw it onto this end, level it up, see what it looks like. Looks like we're pretty good. This end needs to come up just a little bit, so it means no more digging. Yay! We also need to square this thing up with the front of the rest of the shed, and it looks pretty good. It might have to go this way a little bit, and that does mean more digging. Bad planning. All right, again, we're mostly level. We're only looking at this bubble here. We don't really care about this right now. We will adjust that out later. All right, I think the next thing to do is to screw together two 2x6x12s, sticking them way out there. I think we're going to work on one at a time just to make it lighter. Put some temporary legs in. Sounds like a plan. Tell you what, this is looking pretty large. I don't think my camper's that big. All right, this next part's going to be pretty much a cluster because I gotta like support the 2x12, attach it to another 2x12, stick it out there, support that all by myself. So what I'm going to do is just let the camera run. We'll probably run it in high speed in the final video. Maybe put some music to it.
Sun's beating down, red clay dust, sweat on my brow, feeling the rush, got the blueprint spread on my tailgate. This mountain ain't gonna make me wait. Got my hammer, my saw, and my steel-toed boots. Gonna build a home for my traveling roots. No boss man hollering, no phone to ring. Just me and the birds, hearing them sing. Gonna build an RV barn on the side of this hill, where the only noise is the wind blowing still. My hands are callous, my back is sore, but I've never felt this free before. Just a mountain man and a pile of tin, working up a sweat with a big old grin. The afternoon sun, it's 100 degrees, but a little bit of heat that don't bother me. Got the rafters up, straight and true, drinking warm water, got plenty to do. The view from up here goes on for miles, makes all the struggle and the hard work worthwhile. Watching the deer through the thicket below, planting my seeds, watching my dreams grow. Gonna build an RV barn on the side of this hill, where the only noise is the wind blowing still. My hands are callous, my back is sore, but I've never felt this free before. Just a mountain man and a pile of tin, working up a sweat with a big old grin. Some folks chase money, some chase fame, but I just want a life I can call my own name. Here on this mountain with the sky so blue, this little barn is my promise to you. A place to park my home where the stars burn bright, sleeping easy through the long peaceful night. Gonna build an RV barn on the side of this hill, where the only noise is the wind blowing still. My hands are callous, my back is sore, but I've never felt this free before. Just a mountain man and a pile of tin, working up a sweat with a big old grin. Yeah, working up a sweat, feeling the breeze, living my dream, doing as I please. Just me and this mountain and a whole lot of tin. Got my own little world and I'm building it in.
Wow, that was entirely too much effort. All right, so I think this was the most difficult part. We have that beam sticking way out there. Now we have to put the beam across the back to tie it all together and then square it up. Unfortunately, that is taller than I can reach. This side, I do have a log I can step on, so that's good. Side where we can't reach. Wow, that was hard. All right, the next thing we need to do is dig a bunch of holes for the foundation points. We need about 12 to 14 holes dug in this rocky, rooty soil. We need 4 across the top. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Halfway on the span here, we need 1 and 2. That would be right under where the weight of the trailer is going to run. Here at the junction of the 2x12, we need 1 and 2. That's also going to be right under the weight of the trailer. And that's where the trailer wheels are going to park most of the time. Going further back, we need to put 1 and 2. And then right in the corner, we need 1 and 2, and probably 3 right in the middle, because that's a pretty long span there to support. But I'm going to spend a little bit of time squaring this up, making sure we're digging the holes in the right spot, and we'll do the digging some other day. So you guys get outside, do something fun, come back and tell me about it.